Welcome to The Creative Agent. Today we are talking to Nick Moloney from Raine and Horne Commercial. Nick, in my opinion, represents the new wave of agents that are taking on the traditional setting ways of the commercial industry sector. Nick, thanks for coming, man.
Pleasure, thanks for having me.
Remember when we first spoke, we chatted a bit about how much of an opportunity there was in the commercial real estate space for an agent to really, I guess, grab the balls of the industry with some fresh marketing and content and a bit of a new way to do things. Do you think that opportunity is still there?
100%.
Why?
Because I don't think that anyone at the moment has really grasped an identity in the context of commercial real estate.
Okay.
So there's obviously easiest contrast is residential, right? So you look at residential agents, there's lots of residential, they're branding themselves, they're doing all those different things.
Yeah.
I feel like the commercial space probably goes a little bit under the radar. I don't feel like there's as much media and as much attention on the commercial space and the commercial industry as there is the residential.
Yeah.
Even like news and stuff, news is always picking up on auction clearance rates, clearance rates for houses and open for inspections and all of that information and content and data. But none of it's really on commercial until recently. Social media started to pick up, like once the prices have started to come up in the residential space, there's been more programs and ads for people who are running workshops in commercial real estate. So I think we're on the upward trend, but I don't think anyone's got it yet.
Wow. Do you think that kind of media attention was like, is it because Resi's a bit more accessible than commercial, do you think, or?
Commercial's very private.
Yeah.
It's not a very loud visual process.
Yeah.
Resi, you do open for inspections, you see flags out, you see A-frames out, you see the events happening, you see all of these steps along the way.
Yeah.
But then in the context of commercial, everything's in the offices. Appointments are done, inspections are done via appointment. So there's thousands of inspections that are happening every single day inside the city, but no one really knows that it's happening because they're all being done one-on-one. Yeah. So all of a sudden, if someone does it a little bit more publicly, it starts to draw a little bit more attention.
Yeah, good point. I think there's, when I think about it as well, there's probably that emotional side of it being, the great Australian dream. Everyone's sort of raised to grow up, buy a house, have your family, and do that. So it's probably that, which kind of links into, I guess, if someone was to stand out a little bit more in that commercial space, what do you think they need to do? Like, I guess it feels very traditional now, like a lot of old white dudes running the industry.
Sitting up but that's what it is. It's sitting up in the boardroom towers, in the boardrooms, in the big towers, doing deals.
Like TikTok videos?
Yeah, maybe not. I mean,
but doing deals.
But that's the thing, right? Like commercial is multi-million-dollar transactions that no one knows about until it gets released by the AFR for a $320 million transaction. That's the exaggeration. Yeah. And everyone thinks that commercial is this $100 million industry. Yeah. But like I've built my business on being high volume of transaction at a lower price point. Like there's commercial properties that you can buy a couple of $100,000, but people don't know it. Yeah. Because no one makes any noise about it.
Wow. So then what attracted you to it then? Because I guess, someone looking to get into real estate in the industry, they probably see the Resi thing as, the suits and the cars and the attention and
the flashy.
All that flashy bullshit.
I'm quite practical in my thought process, and commercial real estate is also quite practical by way of analysis in terms of valuation methodology. So that made a lot of sense for me to start with. So that was something that I initially resonated with. Whereas in a residential context, you don't have to be, but the perception is that you've got to be this fairly emotive, dramatic individual. Correct, that can pull on emotions and sell the dream and everything else. And I didn't quite feel as though I had those characteristics. But then working with the practical valuation method of the commercial made a lot of sense. So I felt more comfortable in that atmosphere than I did residential.
Yeah.
So I think that was initially the most attractive draw card for me. I wouldn't say that I saw an opportunity in the commercial space when I started out, because I don't think anyone sees the opportunity in any industry before they start out, because they've got like this picture of what they think it is, and then they get into the industry and they're like, oh my God, this is completely different. So I think that developed over time, and the more time that I spend in the space, the more time that I honestly believe that there is more opportunity. Because, and again, this is personal opinion, I feel like things have been, on a micro level, have been done fairly well the same way for a long period of time, and it's worked. Does the commercial space need something to draw more attention to it?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's exactly what I found kind of talking to those guys. It's very much like, this has worked for so long. So kind of like, why change things? Do you feel like the demographic, or from the client side of things? Because I feel like if that started to change, it would change the agents and the industry. Do you think that's like that environment's changing a little bit? The people that are purchasing commercial stuff?
I think the buyer demographic is changing dramatically. Which is driven by the fact that I said before, people have kind of got fed up with the prices of the residential, so they're looking for another investment strategy. So what are the other options? Well, you've got shares. You've got stocks. Some people aren't comfortable in that space. Well, one other alternative is commercial. So residential property, commercial property, they're both property. But I think the overall buyer pool of commercial property is increasing, and a lot of it's coming from people who are transferring from the residential market to the commercial market, and a lot of them are mums and dads. Who are the people that are buying the couple of $100,000 properties, who are historically comfortable with the process of residential selling.
Crazy.
So if all of a sudden they're going into a different category, and there's they see some commonalities between the processes, they might feel a little bit more comfortable. I think that's maybe a little bit of a play of the direction that I'm going on. Cool. Is it the right thing? Don't know. Is it working for me at the moment? Yes.
Great. Yeah. So I guess in that respect too, I think, your marketing or advertising, or the way that somebody articulates what you do in the commercial space, is probably going to naturally go towards a little bit of that, right? To make them feel a bit more comfortable.
Correct.
And I think that's been a challenge for us as well, when we've had commercial clients come to us and say, whether they've seen something in the Resi space that resonated with them, or they wanted to get more results and stand out in that area. A lot of what I see is, how do you create a bit of an emotional element to the content? Because, would you agree kind of most of your clients are really kind of that facts-based stuff as well? They're just looking for a number return on their investment, right?
Some people even don't want to meet, like they don't even want to have the face-to-face conversation. Like if I get this price, it costs me this much, and I can do it within this time frame, do it. They're not really too phased. Obviously, you've got to give them some comfort to know that you've got the experience to do it. So track record helps, and the online profile and videos and everything that you might send them leading up to the process is probably reassuring them before the time that they get the proposal. So I might have already built the confidence with them. But
do you do a lot of that?
Yeah, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. If I didn't do that in the first place, I wouldn't have the content to be able to send them for them to be able to make the decision. So I wholeheartedly believe that helps, because I don't need to communicate that to them. I can just be like...
kind of jump a few steps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. I've also found that kind of, and I don't know if this... Let me know. I'd love your opinion on that, but...
Shoot.
We come at it from an emotional storytelling point, and I go, okay, because that's a barrier. It's, no, people just want a money return. This is what it's going to cost me. This is what's... And then I go kind of like, well, why do they want that? And you go, okay. like, I want to find out how we can articulate the way that the why behind the numbers, whether that is freedom, happiness, setting up their family, like some sort of lifestyle consequence of that. Do you think that would work in kind of the space, or is it a little bit too meta in the background?
I think yes, there's no doubt that those are influencing factors, but at the same time, the underlying concept is that it's still business.
Yep.
And in order to succeed in business, you need to succeed in business.
Totally.
So a good way to portray that is to portray success.
Yep.
So if you kind of scale it back a little bit,
Yep.
and like, if you can portray success, so let's take a building, for example, right? So someone's selling a building.
Yep.
Why would someone buy the building? Well, they want, it's an investment. The investment needs to be successful.
Yep.
And what does success look like? It looks like a return.
Yep.
So even though in the context of commercial, people say that it's a non-emotive process, and yes, it's driven by numbers and yields and rents and incentives and all of these other factors, I don't think anyone can deny that the person who buys the $150 million building doesn't, at the end of the process, feel a sensation of success when they go, yes, I got it.
Yeah.
So if you can portray the asset as being successful, which then fits into the concept of business, then you would be basically helping someone acquire something which is going to continue their business to move forward, which they just want success. They want successful assets. They want something which isn't going to require a lot of attention, which is going to be profitable, and they're probably going to be able to turn around to their investors and go, we bought this.
Awesome.
And then everyone pats themselves on the back and
goes,
yeah.
Feel good.
Yeah, but like, it's because it's successful.
Yeah.
That's what everyone...
I love that. I love that angle. I guess that would then help with, if you're doing, like you said, posting your results in testimonies and social proof, that credibility aspect of, like, if they want to be successful, they kind of want to be around success as well. So
for sure,
if you're showing, say, numerous awards and things like that, or results for people, that would help that, I imagine.
Absolutely. But then you just got to find the
balance,
the age-old balance of portraying that you're successful between arrogance.
Yeah.
So you just got to walk that tightrope.
Such a fine line.
Yeah. Because then if you go too far with it, then people are like, you don't want to be dealing with that person.
Well, it's still a service-based
100%
people industry.
100%.
Right? So
100%. You're still providing a service. You're providing a service in order to assist someone achieve an outcome based on, assuming it's investment requirements.
Yeah.
But you have to facilitate the process. So you need to be responsive, and you need to be able to give the information and all of these other little triggers along the way.
Yeah.
And the better that you can portray that through experience, and if you happen to capture some of that through marketing, whether it's videos for whatever it is, and then you can show that to other people, then you can present that to a prospective client, and then go, this is my experience, this is the success that we've achieved based on investment requirements, and then you just give them the proposal, and then you fall back into the same parameters as a real estate agent trying to do all the things that you would do to secure the listing.
Yeah. Okay. I guess, with things changing so fast in the next couple of years, irrespective of, I guess, world climate and things like that, it even seemed as much as last year that this year was going to be wildly different.
Yep.
How are you kind of like, one of the things that I love about you since we've met is it seems like you're always kind of, like, I don't pick up on any of that arrogance. It's very, very humble. You keep smashing out the park and getting awards and things. But it seems like you're always looking to kind of learn and grow and things like that. How important is that, I guess, year on year to kind of self-learn? And is there that opportunity there in commercial at the moment?
Yeah, 100%. There's opportunities in everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential in commercial, which is really derived by the fact that it's not as public an event.
Yeah.
So if you can potentially publicize what is happening more, then you're going to start to draw more attention. Yeah. And then with attention comes interest, and with interest comes other opportunities.
Yeah. Do you think it will happen?
100%.
Who's going to start it? What needs to happen?
There are people in this industry that are doing phenomenally well.
Yeah.
Like leaps and bounds, and like you would be amazed at the types of numbers that they're writing.
Yeah.
But it's just not very public.
Yeah.
No one's really aware of it. No one really sees it. Mm-hmm. There are
not very sexy either.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on the individual and what they want the outcome to be. And you know, some people are very content doing what they're doing and being successful in their space that they currently are and the way that they're doing it. So they might go, maybe that's not the thing for me and I don't need to change because my model is this and my model's working exceptionally well.
Do you think there is like a new guard of commercial agents coming into it?
I like to think so, because that's what I'm basing all of my opinion on.
I know. You know, I guess you seem like an anomaly to me more than I guess a trend.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm comparing it to Resi because that's the majority of stuff that we do. But you know, there's always just new guys coming in and out.
Yeah.
And some very well-established guys that have been kicking ass for 20 years, 30 years. Commercial still seems like the old boys club to me.
Yeah.
But I just don't know a lot of. Saying that, there are a lot of those established guys that have been coming to us and saying, we want to change things. And like you said, like they're doing a lot of deals. They're making 10 times the money that the top real estate Resi agent makes. And they kind of want to start building that profile up and seeing the opportunity as well. But I'm really interested in kind of the young motivation to get into the commercial. And I wonder if it is something where when the marketing opens up and the industry opens up to being more visible, if that will happen, or is it happening now kind of underneath?
I think it's happening now, but it's also relative to where we are time-wise, because you've got access to so many different social portals. Yeah. So, the age-old concept that everyone's on these social portals at the moment. What's the easiest way to get in front of people? Yeah. Will produce social content. Yeah. Which is why agencies the big four agencies are producing social content and they're putting themselves on their platform so that people can see them. Why do they want to do that? Because they want to get recognised, get more exposure, and generate more business. So I think that the timing where we are now naturally causes for a need for that to happen. Yep. But at the moment, I don't think there's a real standout individual who is nailing it the whole way through. Yeah.
Are you finding any success with social at the moment?
Yeah, 100%.
In what way?
What did we do? We did a video for a building down in Blues Point. Christian filmed it for us. Yeah. Did you? No. Did you film it for us? Yeah. The one down in Blues Point? Yeah. Sold it to a gentleman in Hong Kong. Saw the video.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Sold it to a gentleman in Hong Kong. It was a commercial building. It was a 3-story walk-up commercial terrace that had a law firm in it, long-term lease. The gentleman that bought it worked for a financial institution. Someone saw the video, sent him the video. He forwarded it to his buyer's agent. His buyer's agent got in touch with us. What? We sold the property to him on the basis that he would then convert it to residential at the end of the initial lease term, which he would then use for his home.
I love that.
But if we didn't do the video, we wouldn't have had the content for him to be able to expose it. So if you mesh the content plus the social aspect of it and advertise on the platforms, probability suggests that you're increasing your potential marketplace for your buyers. Awesome. I mean, that's one example, and inquiries for listings that we have at the moment, people inquiring on Instagram and Facebook, send me more information. It's probably only starting to happen more now, and people are starting to respond to it a little bit more now. Yeah. But there's a number of transactions that wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the assistance of marketing collateral and social platforms.
Awesome. Does that happen more on your personal or team page, or is that I know Raine and Horne really back up, that they seem to have invested and thrown a lot of time and money into that space?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a lot of an agency backing up thing, or is it your personal stuff?
So it's twofold. So I think we're at an agency level at the moment. So agencies are advertising through social media and creating content. As I said before, I don't think that there's an individual within an agency that is branding themselves commercially to get the exposure.
Okay.
So I feel like that model, like, you know, how you've got the team working within an agency in the residential marketplace, there isn't, well, you know, to a degree, I think we're still kind of at an agency level in the commercial atmosphere, which is why I think that there is an opportunity for individuals to succeed through marketing and advertising, because we haven't had that shift yet.
Yeah. Awesome. What do you plan to do with yours? Anything? Post cool pictures of swords on your Instagram?
There is definitely a plan. Have we activated to its full capacity right now? No. Yeah. Is it still a little bit of a trial and see model? Yes. But the best way to summarize it, I'd probably say that I've done enough now to have the confidence to know what I want to do, and now it's just a matter of pulling the trigger and going through the process.
Awesome. Yeah. So a lot of it is trial and error, right?
100%.
Like, yeah.
No one knows. No one's going to nail it first go in any space whatsoever. You're going to give it a go, and then that's going to fail, and give it a go, and that's going to fail, and give it a go, and people are going to laugh at you. You're an idiot for doing that. Why'd you do it? You go, oh shit, shouldn't have done that.
Do you think there'll be resistance from like the commercial space?
There already is. There already is. 100%.
In what way?
The way the model that I run my team and the way that we sell property, it's a fair amount of it is influenced by the residential concept, for the sole purpose that I'm trying to make more of a noise in terms of what we're doing. So we get more attention. So what do? We do open for inspections. So you've got other commercial going, I don't know if open.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, so we work Saturdays as well. Historically, commercial agents only work Monday to Friday. We get a lot of people going, oh, you work on Saturdays? Yeah, we do. We're willing to put the effort in. We want to try and make a difference and stand out and get the attention and be heard and be seen.
Awesome. So this was a real, purposeful strategy you've
100%. 100%.
How did that come about and when?
So as I said, there wasn't an initial plan when I got into the commercial space, and I didn't see the opportunity in the commercial atmosphere when I initially started. But the more time that I spent in the space, it became a little bit more evident. But again, is that the right thing to do? Time will tell. We'll have to wait and see.
Sure. But you're getting, I guess, market feedback at the moment that's suggesting that it's working, and you're making steps forward with it.
Yep.
So the plan was to kind of, add that Resi.
Yeah, so it's an adaptation of the old school guys up in the boardroom towers doing quiet commercial deals that no one really knows about, to how do we make more noise and get seen a little bit more. Awesome. What's the easiest thing to do? So
what happened when you first started doing open for inspections?
People were a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Oh, it's open for inspection on Wednesdays and Saturdays. What? What do you mean Saturdays? So Saturday, you can have a look at the property at this time to this time.
Because before that, just private inspection.
Private appointment Monday to Friday. Yeah. You make a call, the age-old concept or I suppose profile of a commercial agent is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Yeah, I can be available this time to take you through the property.
I want to have a look at 5:30. No thanks. I'm quite generalising because I'm not saying that everybody does that, and there are 100% a lot of people that work crazy hours. Like I said before, there's people that are writing phenomenal numbers. They don't do that by working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. But I guess we're just trying to put ourselves in a position to stand out, so that if somebody is thinking of selling or buying, that hopefully they'll come to us first, or at least our hat will get thrown in the ring. Totally. And we'll get a call, we'll get a text, we'll get some piece of communication which will give us the opportunity to try and present ourselves.
Are you pushing that out a lot, that concept? The weekends and the open for inspections and being more available to people?
Yeah.
Because I think that as a separator, obviously in this business, it is kind of trying to find something that's a bit different and unique, and I think that concept's awesome. But you need people to know about it, right?
Sure.
So they can come to those kind of things.
Exactly. And if you don't shout it from the rooftop and try and let as many people know as you possibly can, no one's going to turn up. Like there's no point in, I can't remember what the analogy is, or the what's the thing called?
A metaphor?
Metaphor.
Yep.
Is it a metaphor? I don't know if it's a metaphor. There's a
Analogy's
saying.
good. Yeah.
Let's go with analogy. So you put a billboard in the forest and no one's going to hear about it because it's not the right place.
Yeah.
So, I think with anything, even in the concept of marketing property, people are trying to push the property out to as many places as they possibly can.
Yeah.
We're just trying to push our services out to as many places as we possibly can.
I love also that, like it feels like you've identified an industry, a space, learned what you could about it, and then gone, okay, what's actually going to work best for me? Not giving a fuck about how things have always been done, and just gone hard at that, right? And evaluate and review and figure out what's going to happen.
And like I said, there was plenty of occasions where shit didn't work.
Yeah.
no matter how hard we tried and how hard we pushed, it did not work.
I love it.
But if it doesn't work, then you change a little bit and then you try something else. Like, you can't do it there, you can't do it there. Oh, there's an opening, and you give that one a go.
Awesome.
So it definitely hasn't been for lack of effort and lack of failure.
Yeah. But the self-awareness was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
To realize what was going on. I guess that resilience to keep getting punched in the face over and over again.
Sure. Otherwise, you're just going to give up. If you're going to give up on it, well, then what's the point in starting in the first place? Yeah,
exactly. Man, look, I think that's sort of my biggest takeaway from this is, don't necessarily follow what everybody else is doing in the industry, to figure out your own path and just keep sticking with it.
Yep. Hopefully it's the right thing to do.
We'll see. Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure.
And that's us.
Awesome.